Welcome back to Exposure Stories. Joanna Gaines didn't simply fade away after Fixer Upper. Her story actually became deeper, richer, and more intentional. To understand what truly happened behind the scenes, it helps to look not just at her rise to fame, but at the values and experiences that shaped every decision she made along the way. As Fixer Upper grew into a national phenomenon, life behind the cameras became increasingly demanding. Filming a television show may look effortless on screen, but in reality, it requires long hours, tight production schedules, and constant pressure to deliver results. Joanna was not only filming episodes, she was also running multiple businesses, raising a growing family, and maintaining the authenticity that made viewers fall in love with her in the first place. The more successful the show became, the more responsibilities piled up. While fans saw beautifully finished homes and heartfelt reveals, behind the scenes there were real challenges balancing work and personal life. For Joanna, success was never meant to come at the cost of her family. She and Chip Gaines had always built their life around shared values: faith, simplicity, and prioritizing what truly matters. As their 5 children grew older, the couple began to feel the weight of constantly being pulled in multiple directions. The decision to end Fixer Upper in 2018 was not sudden or mysterious, it was deliberate. They chose to step away at the height of their fame, something that is rare in the entertainment world, because they wanted to regain control of their time and focus on what mattered most. This decision surprised many fans, but it revealed something important about Joanna's character. She was never driven purely by fame or public attention. Instead, she was guided by a desire to create a meaningful life, one that allowed space for family dinners, quiet moments at home, and being present for her children's lives. In many ways, stepping away from the show was not an ending, but a reset. Even before Fixer Upper ended, Joanna had already been building something much bigger behind the scenes. What started as a small shop in Waco had grown into the Magnolia brand, a name that would eventually represent an entire lifestyle. After leaving the show, she poured her energy into expanding this vision. The Magnolia silos became the physical heart of that dream, a place where visitors could step into her world and experience her design philosophy firsthand. It wasn't just about shopping, it was about creating an atmosphere where people felt inspired, welcomed, and connected. At the same time, Joanna leaned more deeply into storytelling. Through Magnolia Journal, she shared not only design ideas but also personal reflections on life, motherhood, and growth. This platform allowed her to slow down and communicate in a more thoughtful, meaningful way. Unlike television, which often requires quick pacing and visual impact, writing gave her the space to be more introspective and real. Another important shift in Joanna's life after Fixer Upper was her evolving definition of success. Earlier in her career, success might have been measured by growing a business or reaching a wider audience. But over time, it became more about balance and intention. She began focusing on creating a life that felt aligned rather than overwhelming. This meant saying no to certain opportunities, even if they were appealing, and choosing projects that reflected her values. Her return to television with Magnolia Network in 2022 was a reflection of this new mindset. Rather than jumping back into the same fast-paced format, Joanna and Chip built something on their own terms. The network allowed them to tell stories that mattered to them, stories about home, food, creativity, and community. Shows like Fixer Upper, Welcome Home felt different from the original series. They were slower, more personal, and more reflective of where Joanna was in her life at that moment. Throughout all of this, one thing remained constant: Joanna's deep connection to the idea of home. For her, home is not just a physical space, it's a feeling. It's about comfort, belonging, and authenticity. This perspective can be traced all the way back to her childhood. Growing up in a multicultural household, moving from place to place, and experiencing moments of feeling like an outsider all shaped her understanding of what home truly means. It's not about perfection, it's about creating a space where people feel seen and loved. Her design philosophy reflects this belief. Instead of chasing trends, Joanna focuses on creating spaces that feel lived in and meaningful. She often emphasizes the importance of mixing old and new, incorporating personal items, and designing with intention. This approach resonates with people because it feels achievable and real. It's not about having the most expensive furniture or the most modern look. It's about creating a space that tells your story. Another key part of Joanna's journey is her role as a mother. Raising 5 children while managing a growing empire is no small task, but she has consistently emphasized that her family comes first. She often shares moments from her home life, showing that even someone with a massive brand still values simple, everyday experiences. Whether it's cooking meals, gardening, or spending time with her kids, these moments ground her and keep her connected to what truly matters. In many ways, Joanna Gaines represents a different kind of success story. Unlike many public figures who chase constant visibility, she has shown that it's possible to step back, reassess, and rebuild in a more intentional way. Her journey is not about disappearing, it's about evolving. She moved from being a television personality to becoming a storyteller, entrepreneur, and creative leader on her own terms. Today, Joanna continues to influence millions, not just through design, but through the way she lives her life. She has built a brand that extends across retail, media, publishing, and real estate, yet she remains grounded in the same values that shaped her from the beginning. Her story is a reminder that success doesn't have to be loud or overwhelming. Sometimes, the most powerful move is choosing a path that aligns with who you truly are. So, what really happened to Joanna Gaines after the cameras stopped rolling? She didn't disappear. She stepped into a life she carefully designed, one built on purpose, balance, and authenticity. And in doing so, she proved that the real transformation wasn't just happening in the homes she renovated, but in the way she chose to live her own life. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.